Hi, this is Ned Siegfried from Siegfried & Jensen. As proud sponsors of BeliefCast, we hope you are inspired by Todd's weekly podcasts, which contain so many courageous stories of recovery and personal growth. Remember, it's not what happened in the past that matters, it's what happens in the future. We invite you all to work hard and be optimistic about your future. Enjoy today's podcast.
Hey everyone, this is Todd Sylvester with the Todd Inspires BeliefCast. Welcome to the You're OK Mental Fitness Studio. I would like to thank our sponsors, Ned Siegfried, Luke Peterson, and Todd Bradford with Siegfried & Jensen, Mark Richards with Wasatch Recovery, Colby and Mackenzie with Thread Wallets, Drew Peterson with First Digital, Greg Jackson with Mountain West Spine and Orthopedics, and Travis Whitaker, the owner of Living Recovery Interventions. And also, I'd like to give a shout out to Paul Cardall. The music that you hear at the beginning and the ending of these episodes is by Paul Cardall. He's an amazing person, and he's been one of my heroes for years. So thanks to all my sponsors and Paul Cardall for believing in me. I love you guys so much. Please enjoy this next episode. Welcome back, everybody. Todd Sylvester here, the host of the BeliefCast. Thank you for tuning in once again, week after week. You guys are fantastic. And it's not because of me. It's because of these amazing guests I bring on who get vulnerable and they share their amazing stories. And I think we all can relate because I think we're all fighting a battle that maybe a lot of people don't know about. And what's cool about this podcast is you can come here and connect and feel like you're not alone. And McKenna Brown, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
This is her second time on the show.
I was shocked when you messaged me. I was like, of course I'll come back. I had so much fun.
I'm so grateful to have you on. For those who don't know her, she's, in my opinion, one of the most vulnerable people I've ever met.
Oh, thank you.
I think I've learned this, that the amount of vulnerability we're willing to express will be equal to the amount of happiness we experience in life. And to see you just being willing to be a mental health advocate and talking about your own issues, you're just, I don't know, it's refreshing.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
thank you so much.
You bet. So you're a wife, a mother of 4 beautiful children.
Yes.
Like I said, a mental health advocate. You have struggled in the past with postpartum depression, and you're an anxiety survivor. Mm-hmm. You're a self-love and confidence coach, and truly, when you sit with her, you feel the love and you feel her confidence. It's amazing. It truly is. She's the creator of My Wonder Woman Journal, mm-hmm. and you also have My Wonder Girl Journal, right? Yep. Mm-hmm. Which is awesome. And, I think there was a time in your life where you felt the world may not be better with you here.
Absolutely.
And that's obviously, I'm grateful that was a lie, because it is. And all the good you're doing. You've recently have had some struggles, and we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
But why don't we just start with, McKenna, tell our listeners where you grew up and just a little background on you and your family.
Yeah, I grew up in Utah County, born and raised in Provo. That's currently where I reside.
Yeah.
I do tell people we get out. I promise I get out of the bubble.
Gets out of the bubble from time to time.
As a family, I'm the youngest of 4.
Okay.
And I've been married for 13 years. My husband and I love to travel. Our kids love to travel.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing to do is spend time together as a family.
Yeah.
So through this whole journey and starting a business and sharing my story, family first. And I'm just blessed and grateful to be a mother and to have such an amazing partner with my husband. So.
Yeah. Well, and just knowing you, you obviously love life. You live it with vigor and passion. Obviously, you have your moments, and we're going to get into those.
Absolutely.
But I think overall, you do your best to try to just get yourself in a position to where you experience joy. Is that fair to say?
That is fair. That is fair. That's the goal. It's the ultimate goal. Like above all, men are that they might have joy. Yeah. And that it's our duty and job to open our eyes and see the joy that's in front of us, even through the hardship. And that's our part, is we have to look for the good through the hard, because God doesn't give us trials without. We don't get to experience joy or virtue without vice.
Yeah. So when you were younger, you're a very outgoing person. Mm-hmm. You're not afraid to talk about. Were you that way when you were younger too?
Yeah, I was just a really annoying child.
It's like, will she ever be quiet?
No, seriously. I had a friend of our family said, if the only way we can shut McKenna up is if we put her in a car. I don't know why. I could just look out the window and I just automatically would just stop talking in the car.
Yeah. Maybe you were fascinated by what you were seeing and stuff.
Yeah, I was looking out the window and my mind would roll other places when I was in the car. So yeah, I've always been a talker. I've always been teased by siblings of just being really talkative and loud and energetic. But as I've grown older, I've learned to know that you not be ashamed of those qualities, that I've learned to harness those, that those are actually strengths of mine. Yeah. You know, when we're children and our brains are developing, and even into adulthood, we're still trying to figure out how to balance, you know, the double-edged sword of our gifts, like, you know, really harness them for our ultimate purpose.
Yeah, I love that. You know, as you were growing up, I know you've been Miss Utah.
Mm-hmm. Mrs. Utah.
Mrs. Utah, excuse me.
No, it's okay.
Said that wrong. Was that something on your radar even as a young girl, or is it just something that came later that you're like, hey, I want to maybe go for this and give this a try?
Well, I really enjoy being on stage. And so my mom, when I was a teenager, put me in the Miss Teen. And when I aged out of the teen, I did the Miss. But then I was married really young. So then after I was married, I was having kids back to back. And my mom came to me and said, hey, I was Mrs. Utah 1984. You should run for Mrs. Utah. Why not? And I thought, sure, why not? So then that's when I got into the Mrs. program.
Yeah, and you got to be confident to do that.
Yeah.
I bet that was kind of a stretch, and it really probably helped you grow in your confidence and stuff, right?
Absolutely. And the relationships and the connections you have with other women, it really is, it's such a powerful way to gain passion for a cause, get involved in your community, and push yourself outside your comfort zone and gain strong connections with others.
No, that's awesome. Well, you did mention you had kids back to back.
I did.
I know last time you were here, you talked about the postpartum, there we go.
Yeah.
Depression.
I did,
and also anxiety, struggle with those things. Talk a little bit about that and that challenge and you know, how that maybe has, you know, shaped you to today.
And that was just the beginning, I think. Postpartum depression and anxiety really came to a head after my after my fourth. I was experiencing it after my kids, and then I would get through it. But the minor anxieties and depression, the depression that you feel after isn't really talked about on a minor scale. It's really just on this broad, huge, you don't want to be here anymore, and you disappear, and all these elaborate things I didn't experience until after my fourth. Mm-hmm. But what I'm realizing is that I've had anxiety and depression my entire life. That's just the moment that it all came to a head. So as I worked through it postpartum, it's really now just this lifelong journey that it's taken me on to really peel back layers and get deeper into the underlying reasons of my depression and anxiety. And that's really catapulted this next chapter that I'm in right now.
Right. And did that ultimately lead to, you know, creating my Wonder Woman journal?
Absolutely.
You know, talk about that and what that's all about.
Yeah, I created the journal because I use journaling as a tool for myself. Yeah, I talk about my mind's going 1,000 miles an hour. We have on average 80,000 thoughts a day. Yeah. 60 to 80,000. I'm sure I'm on the upside of 80,000. But when I journaled, that's when I really could articulate my thoughts. I really gained inspiration and intuition for myself. And so as I came out the other side thinking, oh, I'm not afraid to share my story, I want something tangible to give to women with a call to action. Yeah. And that's really why I created the journal. I started it, it's now a company, but it's not in the basis of my goal is to make money. I literally just carry journals with me everywhere I go. If I'm at the grocery store, I love being able to pull that journal out and give it to a woman and say, you're doing a good job. Your best is good enough. And here, take this journal.
Very cool. So, is that something you did as a young girl too? Were you journaling back then, or is that something that was completely foreign to you?
I would always start, but I'm ADD, and so I have lots of journals that I'll find and write because I was told this is what you should do. But I always thought I have really bad handwriting, I have horrible grammar, and I feel like my English teacher is looking over my shoulder. I'm not good enough to journal. But when I found that it's actually just putting my thoughts on paper, no one else is going to see it. It doesn't matter what it looks like. Sometimes I might not even go back and read it. I'll burn it in a fire as a release. Yeah. It's just for me to connect the heart and the brain is what I say journaling is our brain's running so fast, but our heart's only meant to go da-dun, da-dun, da-dun. And when we have anxiety, the heart starts to race trying to keep up with the brain. Yeah. And there's this disconnect. And when I put that pen on paper, or even I'll have notes in my phone if I don't have my pen, just to kind of articulate what I'm thinking, that the journaling is the bridge between the heart and the brain. Because what happens is when you start to journal, it does take time to write with your hand. Your brain has to slow down. Yeah. And then all of a sudden your heart goes, boom, boom. Oh, I can go at this pace.
Wow.
And then when the heart and brain connect, that's when intuition and inspiration happen. That's when I believe Jesus is my Christ, and I speak to Heavenly Father, and that's when I believe he can speak to me.
Wow. I never thought of journaling like that, honestly. I never put it together like you just explained that. That's so beautifully said.
Thank you.
I don't know. I think I need to say that more often, because we have our clients here.
Yeah.
You know, I've got personal clients who are journaling, but I've never put that together. So I'm going to share that, because that's so true.
It is, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Well, we mentioned that you're a mental health advocate. Part of what you do is you do a lot of speaking events. You speak to a lot of younger women, especially.
Yep.
And I think one of the things you do is, correct me if I'm wrong, but you help them focus on saying positive things, changing their narrative in a better direction. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I love speaking to young girls and women on self-love and confidence, and helping them walk through it step by step. You know, we talk in depth about how we talk to ourselves, where our brains are our computer, and our thoughts are the input, is the programming. And it's different than our heart. Our heart is just the reactor. This is us to our computer. So what we say, our brain believes. And so walking women and girls through, I have 7 steps on how to create and then nurture self-love and confidence. And the basis of it is the starting of how we talk to ourselves. Because if we can harness in what our input is, our output will be substantially more profound if we start feeding it healthy mindset and healthy personal affirmations and gratitude, and really harnessing what's around us, you know, even through laughter. Laughter is a step. When we do something silly, or we would say stupid, you know, driving off with the gas pump in my car. I've done that a couple times. Or like today I drove through Chick-fil-A. You're not going to believe it. You're not going to believe this. I know. I literally was just laughing by myself in the car. I didn't roll my window down to order. I just kept driving. Like, and it was in a line. I had plenty of time to order. So you just went
right past
I just literally, the line moved. I moved right past the order, and I had to call them in the line. And I was hi, I don't know why I didn't order.
I can't back up. So,
but when you think of those moments where you think you do something, where was my brain? Or you have these like, you know, brain farts or whatever.
Yeah.
What is the first thing we do when we do something like that? I'm so stupid. Yeah. I'm an idiot. Yeah. I can't believe I did that. Where were my brain cells? A lot of times we trip over our own feet. Look, I can't even walk straight. I say those are the moments that break the straw that breaks the camel's back. Yeah. Because when things are going on and we're juggling plates on our toes, spinning plates on our toes and balls, and then we maybe run into a wall, because heaven forbid we're not looking where we're going.
Yeah, right.
We go, wow, I'm an idiot. Look, I'm running into walls. And we start to self-shame, where if we take a step back and go, wow, I'm human, not a robot, and we learn to laugh at ourselves, laughter can really lighten our load. Yeah. And so learning to look at things with a different perspective, instead of automatically on autopilot, our brain is programmed to go straight to self-shame, straight to self-doubt, straight to, you know, being hard on ourselves, instead of going, let's rewire that part of our brain and say, oops, haha, moving on. Oops, I probably should, you know, allow some grace, because I'm human.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why I love you, because you do laugh at yourself. And I got to be honest, the first time I ever knew you existed, my daughter shared, remember that? You had this funny, I think it's got like 45,000 views. It's like ridiculous. It's like, and it's just, you know, I'm sorry I've been off for a few days. I'm struggling mentally.
Yeah, I think it's hit over some million views now.
It's way up there. And when I saw it, I'm like, who's this girl? And my daughter's like, you got to follow her. She's the best.
Wow. That's
so anyway,
really
that's
cool.
how I got introduced to you. That was the very first thing I ever saw. And then anyway, I started following you at that point, and that's when I finally reached out to you. I'm like, man, I love the way you carry yourself.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Because not only you're not afraid to talk about your struggles, but at the same time, you just laugh at yourself. So yeah.
And things, we call those, and for women, I say those are Wonder Woman moments. Those moments of laughter that actually is just who you are. Laugh at yourself, and then laughter in return, you gain self-love and confidence, and because you're allowing yourself grace.
Yeah, I love that. So awesome. So you talked about these 7 things to help create self-love. Mm-hmm. I think I heard 3 of them: laughter, gratitude, affirmations. Yeah. What are the other ones?
The other ones are good moments, but I also rephrase them as wins. Oh, so gotcha. In the day, we self-shame on things we're not getting done. So I always say, like, even when on my worst days I couldn't get out of bed, I could put my hand on my heart and breathe and go, I'm alive. My life deserves to be celebrated. Okay. You know, you might be cleaning your room, but the dishes aren't done and the laundry's not done. But focus on those moments and allow yourself to celebrate. Stay motivated and continue to progress, but also don't short yourself successes that you've achieved.
Right.
You know, maybe you didn't brush your teeth, you brushed your hair, you brushed your teeth, you didn't all these things. It's like, oh, well, I'm here, I'm alive. My life deserves to be celebrated. So that's the step I walk women through. It's not just to celebrate the big elaborate wins of the day, but to also celebrate yourself and what you are achieving throughout the day. And then the good, the hard, embracing the hard, learning how that's a big step. That's how have found my journey and passion is through the hard. Like we talked about, men are that they might have joy. We are given hardships to go through to achieve ultimate happiness. Yeah. And then which one am I missing? We've got we did gratitude, laughter. Oh, there's a 2-step: showing love and feeling love.
Oh, okay.
So I walk people through how important it is to show love and serve others, but then also to learn on the 7th step, accepting love, accepting a compliment, allowing love in our lives. Yeah. Because they bounce off each other. Like we have to accept love because otherwise someone's trying to give. Yeah. We don't want to take that from them. I'll give them. And when we serve others, it makes us happy, but we're also helping people serve us. And when we accept love in our lives, is just as good in creating self-love because you're welcoming more love. You're broadening your circle.
Wow, I love that.
You know, a lot of times we don't ask for help, and letting women and men know that asking for help is strength, not weakness. Gotcha. So that's part of that's it in a nutshell.
No, I love that. Thank you for sharing that. You know, that last one about accepting love or a compliment. It's funny because just this past week I did a episode and we talked about why do people get uncomfortable when you pay them a compliment? Like they'll laugh and they'll
like, no, you discredit.
Are. No, you are. Oh, my hair kind of did this. Yeah. But thank you. And I'm so guilty. It's interesting because I really, you tell me what you think, but I think when you pay someone a compliment and they laugh and it's getting uncomfortable, it's because they don't believe it.
Yeah, that's true.
Ultimately.
Yeah.
Right. But I love what you said is if you'll accept that, it's someone giving you some love. Like, right. It really is. That's ultimately what it is. So accept that and then you feel it more deeply, right?
Yeah. And I say like being confident is not being conceited. There's a difference between being confident and conceited. I tell people that being conceited is me or you mentality. Yeah, right. And confidence is me and you. Confidence is the abundance mindset. So again, when you teach women and men to accept compliments and to accept love, even if we're still rewiring our brain, it's accepting. That's the step toward embracing confidence in ourselves. Like, because you're saying, it's exactly what you're saying. You can't accept it because you don't believe it. But then people think if they accept a compliment, they're being conceited. And I'm like, no, that's actually just saying thank you for the compliment. That really means, that made my day. That means a lot. Thank you.
Love it. Well, I love that you're doing that journal. I think it's awesome. And again, you're such a powerful influence for women and men, but especially the younger women.
Yeah.
I recommend anyone listening to this right now, if you have a daughter in junior high school, college, married and doing her thing, and they need make sure they connect with
connect with me. I'd love to
connect with her because I just love what you do and how you present this and those 7 things. I think it's good for all of us, right?
Yeah, and I am myself raising 3 girls and a boy. I mean, my boy's 3, but he loves to join in on. But you wonder what you're putting out if they're getting it and if they're registering. And last night at a church activity, they did thank you letters for people in their life. And it was cute to watch the girls do it, but I have 2 girls in this church activity. And I got home and I had a letter sitting on my counter from my daughter. Oh. And I opened it up, and in it, she wrote, "Thank you for loving me for me and showing me to love myself for me, for who I am. Thank you for loving me for who I am and teaching me to love me for who I am."
Oh, man.
And I was like, she's 11.
And you're like, she's listening.
She's listening. You know, every day we do our gratitudes. Yeah. Every day we do our affirmations because that's the hope, right? And
you know what? I got to say this because think about the extra mile you take in helping your own kids. I don't know if you'd go that extra mile had you not gone through what you've been through. Fair?
That's fair.
So I always say this, life happens for us.
It does.
Like those challenges you've been through, it sucked when you're going through them. But because of that, you're now teaching your young kids to believe in themselves, to love themselves, and actually how to do it. How cool is that? And then you get this letter that confirms that they're listening.
I was just like laying in bed last night going, oh my goodness. Yeah. Like, wow, that was so powerful awesome. For her to say, for teaching me to love myself and thank you for loving me for who I am.
That's amazing.
Oh my gosh. She's getting it.
We want everyone to say that. Wow. Well, yeah, you're amazing. You really are.
No, you are. No, thank you, Todd.
There you go. See, I was testing her and she passed. Well, let's get to something a little more serious right now. I know recently you've had your struggles.
Yes.
And you actually went to treatment.
I did.
And again, you don't shy away from it. So I'd love to just tell us kind of what was going on in your life, why you ended up going to treatment, and just talk about that experience.
Yeah, it has been a wild ride.
I can imagine.
I thought that I was past that, and I believe God gives us our trials and phases.
Yeah.
And so I've passed level whatever I was on.
Now here comes the next.
Here's the next level, and it was crazy because everything I believed, and I started to have limiting beliefs in myself. Wow, I'm a fraud. I teach women to love themselves. And here I am struggling so deep that now I'm back to, I felt like I was back at square one. But really it was just, I needed to heal a little bit more. And God was like, hang tight. Yeah. You've got this. Things started to, feeling like I was out of control of my emotions. I didn't feel like, I felt like the world was better off without me again. I really struggled with limiting beliefs. My mothering, I was relapsing on some, just some really things I thought I was past, and it really got to me. And long story short, it's like I'm still learning to articulate it.
Sure.
But my husband came to me and said, hey, like I Googled this and this popped up. It's a place called Sierra Tucson in Arizona. And I'm like, well, I can't leave for 30 days. What about the kids? And it was like a mini intervention. Yeah. And he said, I've already talked to a nanny. Everything's covered.
We're good.
You're good. I have talked to someone there. They have a place for you. And it just happened so fast. But I had this overwhelming sense of relief. Like there's hope. Yeah. And so I decided to take that leap. And I left for 32 days. Jeez. I was at treatment, total being gone from my house. I was gone 32 days.
32 days. Wow.
And when I checked in, they check you into like a mental institution, basically. It's a mental hospital. Yeah. And they assess you to make sure you are ready to go to residential. And residential is where you live on campus. Yeah. And you go to 10 classes, you have group therapy, and it's more of like a college campus. Yeah. Type thing. Sure. And I did that for 24 hours. Then I went to treatment and had a roommate and left my family for 32 days. But it was like a weird Twilight Zone. Every day felt like a week, and every week felt like a year because you're gaining so much knowledge and skill sets and tools. And it really feels like such a blessing. It really has opened my eyes. One thing, what I've learned from myself, for my marriage, for my motherhood, for me individually. And it really, I feel like it was just meant to be. I was supposed to be there, and I leaned into that. And I thought, if anything I can do right now, if I feel like I'm a fraud, at least lean into the hard and embrace this hard and look how you can move forward. Because before that, I had set all these goals for myself. Yeah, right. I want to start this type of business. I want to do this podcast. I want to do this. I want to do this. And I feel like God said, okay. And that was the direction I was going on, except God was saying to me, this is going to look different than you expect, because for you to achieve your goals, you have to go down this path. But like I said, it's not always cupcakes and rainbows. Right. So now everything's coming through right now, naturally after treatment. And I know it wouldn't have happened that way if I didn't go through the hard. Yeah. So I hope I'm making sense right now. This is the first, because last year I was on, I think, like 17 or something podcasts, and I haven't done anything because this is my first podcast to really talk about my story. And when you asked me to be on, I was honored. Like this is the best way for me to help start articulating this journey for myself. Wow.
That means a lot that you would come here and share. I'm honored that you're here. Like I said, I totally respect what you do. I want to read.
Yeah, that will help.
I want to read this. Okay. It was a post that she put on social media when she was reunited with her children after 32 days in treatment. And it was just so touching. And when I read this, I was like, man, I love this woman.
Thank you.
So here's what it said. Seeing my kids for the... I'm going to cry. Sorry. Oh I don't know why I'm crying. Oh. So seeing my kids for the first time after 32 days was very emotional. Leaving for 32 days to go heal my brain was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. I was worried this experience would hurt our relationship, but it only has brought us closer. 32 days sounds long, but in the whole scheme of things, it's only a blink in time. Now we have a lifetime of resources and skill to strengthen our relationships. I'm grateful for the opportunity and the resources at Sierra Tucson that helped me not only be a better McKenna, but I'm a better mom and wife. I'm grateful for the unconditional love of my children that they freely give me. I'm beyond grateful for the support of my amazing husband, who obviously brought this to you in the beginning, who held down the fort while I was gone, feeling blessed. And there's a beautiful video along with it, just watching your kids come up and hug you, and you're hugging them. Yeah. It's so touching. And
thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, it seems like a blur, not a blur, like a dream.
Yeah.
Like when I talk to women, when people reach out to me, where did you go? Where can I find these resources I need to do? People reach out all the time, and I'm happy to be a safe space to help provide resources.
Yeah.
And they're like, 30 days, that's so long. I'm like, but it's in the whole scheme of things, it's really not that long. It goes by very quickly. Yeah. But then think of the lifetime you will have with your family and with yourself to sacrifice just a month. When I think of it, like, I love looking up in the night sky and seeing the stars and the planets and looking around and really putting into perspective the planet we're on. And then where I'm at in this life, like, life is so short, but there's so much more. And I believe we lived before we came, and we're going to live after. Yeah. And that, to say I left for a month in that short period of time,
it's nothing.
It's nothing. Yeah. And I'm just I've already been back to treatment, to a retreat, to do continued education.
Oh, right on.
And it's helped me catapult me to go back to school. And now, all these things that are in the works, God's like, I planted that seed before treatment, so you knew that there was more after treatment. Yeah. And now everything's coming through. It's like everything's happening naturally, where before I was forcing it maybe a little too early or too soon.
Yeah. Wow. Again, I have to say, life happens for us, and this is proof of what you're saying. Obviously, God, your faith means a lot to you.
Oh, yeah. Like, it's everything.
Yeah, because you obviously freely talk about that too.
Yeah, Jesus I feel like I always say, like, I feel like I was meant to be a born again Christian. Like, Jesus loves you. Like, my favorite.
They would love to have you, I'm sure.
Like, they're like, I listen to Christian rock all the time. And my husband's like, there's a song that's like, Jesus in the morning, Jesus. And he's watching me like sing this, and I'm like, Jesus in the afternoon. And he's like, oh my gosh, but it's really.
That's awesome.
Have you seen, I have a reel right now that I just posted about, like, my husband, how my husband thinks about me most days. And it's like, I don't have the energy for you today.
I laughed. So I'm like, yeah.
But that's how I feel about Jesus. Like, I feel really, if we open that communication, and I tell people when I speak about my journey, however you identify with a higher power, whether it is, if you're atheist and you believe in just earth, however you communicate or connect, that's what I want you to think of when I think of Jesus and Heavenly Father. The more I communicate, I feel guided. I feel that he's pulling on my heart. Like, I feel more in tune, and life is more clear. Like, and I can see God's hand. Before I went to treatment, they actually found a cancer. I haven't even talked about that really on my page.
Goodness.
That was just in a tumor. It was 7.5 inches by 7 inches, and they pulled it out. But seeing God's hand in my life went for how that even came. Like, the more I see, even with gratitude, the more we practice gratitude, the more you see. But the more I see God's hand in my life, the more I see He really is. There are angels watching over us. We are part of a bigger plan.
Yeah. Wow. Well, you have been through a lot, haven't you?
We all have.
I know.
We all have.
Yeah,
it's been 2022.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
It was a lot. Yeah. Wow.
But that's okay. I'm grateful for it.
So was it a documentary that was done on you? Talk a little bit about that, because I saw the trailer of that. I haven't seen the whole thing.
Yeah, you should come to the event.
I was blown away. I was like,
they did a really good job.
Oh,
Sturry,
it's so well done.
STIRY, Sturry.
Yeah.
They do such a phenomenal job. So the Emily Effect, it's a maternal mental health foundation, nonprofit organization. They reached out to me and said, hey, would you be willing to do a documentary for us? To share your story, to help other women feel comfortable to share their story. And they were going to talk about postpartum rage, because that's my mental health journey. Is my anxiety and depression manifests in anger. Yeah. And then on the other side of that is shame and depression, because you're so ashamed of what you've done or said.
Right. Yeah.
So I struggled with anger, and they wanted to share that side of mental health, because a lot of women are afraid to share the rage that we feel.
Yeah, right.
And so they came to my home. They did a whole day of filming with me and my kids.
Yeah, it looked
and
amazing.
I said, I'm leaving for treatment next week. Like, are you sure? I'm kind of in this where...
Oh, so this is before you left.
Before I left to treatment.
Oh, okay.
So I said, I have in a way relapsed with my mental health. Are you sure do you want to wait till after treatment, or do you want to do it now? And they said, this actually would be, let's do it
perfect,
now.
Yeah.
Let's talk about where you're at right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I just don't want women to be discouraged. Like, here, I thought she already overcame. And I'm like, but life is constantly overcoming things that come your way. Like, it's gearing us up, picking up more tools and resources. So this was just part of the plan.
Wow.
So they did it before. Now we're premiering it February 8th. And it's a fundraiser to provide resources for women in maternal mental health, so they don't struggle in silence, to provide resources and to help women feel comfortable to ask for help.
And is this when they're going to premiere
the documentary?
Oh,
yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, we'd love to have you come. Yeah.
Yeah. So is it open to the public, or do you have to be invited?
No, you don't have to be invited. There are tickets. You have to buy tickets.
You have to get tickets.
There are 2 nights. One night is the premiere night, the red carpet event. It's going to be a fundraiser.
Okay. Musical
performances. Then that will be a Q&A after we premiere it. The next week's more of like a general admission, chill, relaxed. But we're wanting to get people to this event to really experience the premiere, red carpet, and just to kind of open people's eyes. Oh my God, I never even knew, because I am generally happy, but my depression, we're learning a sign of depression is anger.
Yeah.
And it can manifest in anger.
Yeah.
Someone's like, well, I'm not a depressed person. It's just anxiety. But learning about real signs of depression they're coming out with, it is anger.
Yeah.
And this is a huge sign of postpartum depression is anger. We always talk about, like, I'm just a, quote unquote, like, bitchy mom. Like, I'm always mean. Sorry, I didn't mean to cuss, but it's like, I just was like, I'm so angry. I'm just an angry mom. And like,
You're
sorry,
so funny.
You have to bleep that out. Sorry.
No, you didn't really curse though.
Okay. I
abbreviated.
kind of have a really cursy mouth. I have to be careful. My 3-year-old dropped some words the other day, and I realized maybe I should scale back a little.
Like, where did you learn those?
Yeah, not from
I heard mom say that once.
Oh, my 11-year-old turned to me and goes, Mom, this is why you have to stop swearing. Just kidding.
Yeah. Well, again, I think it's just you being real. That's why I love the way you carry yourself. You're just real. And if a few swear words come out, I don't care, because it's just you being real. I think we need to be more comfortable being real.
It's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because again, you're not perfect.
No.
I'm not. No one's perfect.
Yeah.
But man, when people see what you're trying to do to make this world a better place, how could they argue with you?
Thanks.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, come on.
I just don't think women understand, like, when they're talking about being mean and yelling at your kids all the time. Actually, that's a huge sign of depression. And I want to, like, give those moms a hug and be like, you don't have to feel that way. You don't need to feel that way. And you don't deserve to feel that way.
Yeah.
And if I knew that there were resources sooner, that, and signs, and educated myself sooner, I wouldn't have gone through as much pain. And so that's the hope, is if I share and provide resources to women, hopefully it will prevent people from going down the heartache that I went through to that extent. You don't need to get to that extent. Right. You really can prevent a lot of it.
Yeah. If you catch it and start working on it. And it takes work, obviously. Yeah.
It's hard work.
Yeah.
People think it's easier to ignore it. It's actually harder to ignore it, because it prolongs the journey. It prolongs the pain. If you just face it head on, it really helps it go way quicker.
Well, that's where that vulnerability piece comes in, right? Because it's sometimes hard to go tell someone, I'm hurting.
I'm
hurting. Struggling.
Yeah.
Even sometimes to your own spouse, sometimes it's hard to walk up and go, hey, I'm a train wreck.
Yeah.
I need help, that kind of thing. And so,
because you're so vulnerable, and if they don't respond, it's like it's a very.
Well, you mentioned your husband had been doing some searching and found this place for you.
Yeah.
Were you guys pretty open, communicating about your struggles, or was it kind of stuff
I kept a lot to myself at the extent of it. Like, he knew I was struggling, and I would say, hey, I'm really struggling today. And we kind of had this code where, okay, mom needs extra help today. But it wasn't to the point where, hey, I'm definitely having suicide ideation right now. And even suicide, like, beyond thoughts.
Even further than that. Yeah.
Further than that. And we didn't have the tools and resources for that yet. Like, we did, but we needed more.
Yeah.
We needed more. Sure. And so he came out for family week and
cool.
And it's just like it was so hard and embarrassing when he showed up. I felt embarrassed. Like I'm not capable of even being a mom and being at home and you have to come visit your wife at a treatment center. And they had to like log him in. I had like rasks. It was like security and it was embarrassing, but at the same time, it was the best thing that ever happened for our family. Yeah. Because we know all these things, but really understanding how the brain works and how it's developed. I don't know if you've heard of the ACEs test, Adverse Childhood Experience Test.
Yeah, we do that here all the time.
I'm an 8.
Wow.
And when my husband was walked through adverse childhood experiences, what those questions are, and what your score is. I'm reading a book, Childhood Disrupted, right now to really walk through the study. Yeah. It opened his eyes to say, wow, when I would say I feel so out of control, people are like mind over matter, to an extent, but my brain is just wired differently. Yeah. Yeah. And him understanding, I play a part as well in this. Yeah. It's not just her journey, it's our journey. It's our journey, yeah. And how to communicate with each other. So ever since then, it's like I get to go to him before I elevate. Hey, I'm feeling a little angry. Like the anger's starting to come. I'm feeling like I'm simmering, and he'll be like, go take a break. And then he'll pick up where I feel with no shame attached. Right. Where before I would shame myself and then I would be irritable.
I should be down there helping.
Yeah. And I'm
not.
Yeah. But he does too. There's days where he struggles and comes and says, I need a minute. Okay. Well, we tag team and allow ourselves grace. But learning about the amygdala and the hippocampus and the prefrontal cortex and learning about how our brains actually work is probably the biggest eye-opening experience from treatment for not only me, but for my husband. He's more of a science mind. Yeah. Biology mind. He was in a biology major. For me, I'm just like this free spirit hippie girl, you know?
Totally.
So when he walks it through scientifically for him, he goes, we're rewiring her brain. This is what it entails. Wow. So that's probably what was so cool about treatment was the knowledge we gained.
Well, you mentioned when you saw him for Family Week, you felt shame.
I did.
And it reminds me, so we have a lot of women who come through here at Wasatch, and I hear this all the time. They just feel shameful. Yeah. My kids probably hate me. I'm a mess.
I'm putting trauma on my kids.
Yeah. And I try to tell them, and whether they believe me or not, I don't know, but I will tell them, I know you're a good mom. And I'll say, you know how I know that? And they look at me and like, well, what do you mean? I go, good moms come to treatment to get better. And when I say it that way, it's like it clicks. They go, oh, okay. I go, if your kids could fully understand, if they could fully understand what you're doing to better yourself here, if they actually could see the full picture, they would be so proud, so loving, so understanding. Yep. But a lot of times kids don't understand, right? So maybe they do feel hurt and scared and whatever. But at the same time, once they figure this out as you go through this process, they're going to go, wow, Mom, I'm impressed. I'm proud of you. Just kind of like your kids, watching them.
We were so honest about what I was doing.
Which I think is key.
Walk through. Mom's going to work on her brain. Yeah. Mom's going to help herself be a better mom, and so I can be a better mother for you. Yeah. But I have to help my brain. Yeah. I have to work on my brain. And so my friend who helped with carpool, she's like, I ran into your kids and I said, hey, how are you doing? She goes, how's your mom doing? She's gone and she's working on her brain.
That's cute.
You know, and she called and she goes, I'm so, I love that you're being so honest with your kids that it's okay to work on our brains and to work on ourselves.
So people start coming up to you, hey, how's your brain?
Yeah. Well,
you know what? It's doing okay.
It's okay.
Right now.
We've had our ups and downs, but today's a good day.
Kids are awesome, aren't they?
Yeah, and I even sent him a book that says My Mommy is Special. I ripped out a few pages that were not relevant to my situation so I didn't confuse them. But like, my mommy goes to a doctor. Sometimes my mom takes medication and my mommy's special. You know, what's your mom's name? You know, and it walks them through like awesome. How my mommy's special. Yeah. Type thing. Yeah. Anywho, so we're trying to be upfront and honest with our kids about my journey and not hide it. And just say, hey, it's asking for help isn't weakness, it's strength. And it takes bravery to say, hey, I need help.
Love that. Well, if someone wants to like reach out to you, McKenna, and, you know, get in touch with you, follow your events, listen to more of your podcasts you've been on, What's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah. So on my website, it's just McKennaRoseBrown.com. Has all the podcasts as a way to connect with me.
Mm-hmm.
My social media, like Instagram and TikTok are all McKenna Rose Brown.
Okay.
And so that's just how you can find me. And I want to be a safe space for women. I want them to know they can come to me and be open and honest. And I can help. I've helped women all over the world find resources near them.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hope, is to let others know they're not alone and that I stand and support you. And that there's no judgment from my area. And I'm honored to be, you're never a burden. Yeah. You don't ever feel like you are ever a burden, but I know that feeling, that to know that, oh, McKenna will never, she feels it's an honor that you feel safe enough to talk to me about that. And I'm happy to help find resources for you. And hopefully, cool. And one day I will be a therapist. That's what I'm doing right now.
Well, you really are now, to be honest. You just don't have maybe the paper.
Yeah, I don't
have
the paper.
We were talking about this before we got on.
Yeah.
Your credentials are, you've been through it. You've been through you've walked through the fire and you've come out on the other side and you've learned so much. You give back so much. I mean, you really are.
Thank you.
You're there.
Thank
you just need to get that piece of paper. But
and I
honestly,
love gaining more knowledge and learning more. So it's going to be fun.
No, that's awesome. If there's someone listening to your voice right now who is struggling, who is in a dark place, and they're not sure what to do, you've already given some amazing advice, but what could you tell that one person right now who's listening to your voice who's struggling?
I want you to know that I'm going to repeat what you have said multiple times, that life happens for you, and what men are that they might have joy.
Ooh, I love that.
I believe that before we came to earth, God gave us gifts and talents. He gave us a gift to help us get through everything. And I want you to know that you are worthy of love, and you're worthy of happiness. You're worthy of your life. There's nothing that you've done or said that will ever take that away. That's a gift from God that will never be taken from you. And you have intuition. That I believe we all have wings. So the W's worth, I is intuition. You have the intuition inside of you to go where you need to go and do what you need to do to be who you're meant to be.
Yeah.
And the G and the S, gifts and strengths, you have individual gifts and strengths, and there's no darkness when there's light. So search for the light and know that you matter.
Dang, I love that. Very well said.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're amazing. Thank you for all you do. Thanks for being a light in this world. Thank you for, trusting me enough to come back on the show. It means so much that you would come here. I don't take that for granted. I hope you know that. Like, this means a lot to me, and I'm the lucky one because I get to sit in front of you face to face.
Thank you.
But everyone listening to this, you're also the lucky ones to hear such an amazing story from an amazing person. And I really mean this. If you have anyone, whether it's a daughter or a son who's struggling, have them listen to this episode, have them listen to McKenna, follow up with some questions afterwards, get a feel for where they're at. If they need more help, if you need more guidance, reach out to McKenna.
Yes, please.
You can also reach out to me and I can forward you on to McKenna. But we'd love to help any way we can. And that's the whole purpose of this Belief Cast. Is the reason why I call it a Belief Cast is that to believe that you're good, believe that you're okay, believe at the end of the day, no matter mistakes you make, you're still good.
You're still good.
Right?
You're still worthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know we're wrapping up.
No,
but my
good.
favorite story is the woman at the well. It's the first thing you're going to see when you walk into my home is this woman that was deemed unworthy by society, unlovable, had made so many mistakes that women didn't even want to be around her. She was a Samaritan, and none of the Samaritans wanted her. She'd have to go to the well at the hot times of the day. And that was, Jesus met her at the well one day. And that was the first time in his ministry that he testified himself as the Christ to this woman deemed unworthy by society. Yeah. And he didn't dwell on her past or her bad choices or mistakes. It was, come unto me and you shall never thirst. It was, I don't judge you off your worst mistake because you're still loved and you're always worthy.
Yeah.
And that, I believe he picked a woman that was deemed unworthy by society for a reason, because we all can identify with her at one point or another. Yeah. I identify with her more than I ever expected to. Sure. But I feel that we all are that woman in a sense, man or woman. You feel unworthy at times, but that worth, you will never have that taken from you. It's a gift from God that he will never take from you. Wow.
Very well said. I don't want to say anything else and mess that up.
No, I just, when you said worthy, I'm like, please just know that I get so passionate about that.
For sure.
No matter what you've done or said, you're worthy of love.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Well, thanks for being on.
Yeah,
You're
thank
amazing.
you for having me. You
Absolutely.
inspire me. Thank you.
I mean, seriously, that felt like 2 minutes.
I know. Wow.
It's crazy.
Check that out. Thanks for listening.
You bet. Yeah, it's awesome. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I'll put all McKenna's links in the show notes. So when we go live, you'll have every way to get a hold of her. Please share this with everyone like you guys always do.
Yes.
We are in the top 100 in mental health. It blows my mind. I'm so excited. So we're going to help a lot of people with this. McKenna's going to help a lot of people. And let's all do this. We're all in this together. Let's love each other. Let's support each other. And let's have each other's backs.
That's right.
Right?
Amen.
Amen. And amen. Love you guys. Until next time.
Yep.